Hi, I'm Ryan Stephen and I'm going to be showing you how to make a very simple aloo bangan fry. It's a stir fry that I learned from Bhav's mother how to make this Panchporan style aloo bangan, and that's what I'm going to be making today. You need to know the basics. You need to know how to cut your brinjals. You can cut them anyhow you like to eat them, but as long as they are uniform, because they need to cook uniformly. So now I'm going to start with wok, which is also called a kadai or a kadchi. I've got about I'm going to pour some 2 to 3 tablespoons. I think 2 tablespoons oil is enough. I've got some chopped onions here. These are 2 onions. These are about I think about less than 400 grams of brinjals, which I've cut into quarters. I've got 3 potatoes, again cut into quarters. Soak your brinjal and potatoes in water, preferably salted water. What happens is it tends to oxidize if you leave it out in the open. I've got 2 tomatoes here. I've got 2 tablespoons oil heating, and now I'm going to take some hing, which is also called asafoetida in English. I'm going to put about a large pinch or less than a quarter teaspoon of that. And that's my spice box gifted to me by my friend Manish. And now there's some cumin, a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of mustard seeds, cumin. This is fennel, sauf, about a teaspoon. I've also got fenugreek seeds, which is you need just a little bit of that. It's bitter, so that. And there's some onion seeds, which are called kalonji. I'm going to put a teaspoon of that. This is right here your Panchporan. Cumin, mustard seeds, fennel seeds, onion seeds, and fenugreek seeds. Methi, rai, jeera, sauf, kalonji. Got it? Better get it. Now, to this I'm going to add these 2 sliced onions. Keep your gas on low unless you're really in a rush to cook. Although I don't know where the hell you're going to go in this rush. There's nowhere to go. Now I'm going to increase the flame a bit. I think I'm going to need a little more oil. I may have put a little less. It's always better to put less oil than to put more oil. I think I'm going to put a tablespoon more of this oil. I use light olive oil, but you could use sunflower oil, you could use groundnut oil, whatever oil you have at home. Guys, don't stress if you don't have all of these seeds, Panchporan at home. You can always use only rai jeera. You always have rai jeera at home. You don't have that, screw it. Use oil and use onions. But if you have rai jeera, just rai jeera is fine. If you have jeera, just jeera is fine. If you don't like any of these, don't use them. Okay, now these onions are on the wok, in the wok, and they're going to look, the colors changing, the colors kind of changing. And now, in the meanwhile, I'm going to slice up these tomatoes, diced into cubes, or however you want to. The finer the better. Keep checking on those onions, you don't want them burnt. I have some garlic ginger paste which we had made earlier. Clearly I need to make a fresh batch of this. I don't want it completely caramelized. I don't want them crisp like you make them for barista for biryani. I just want them to cook and get a nice reddish color. I'm going to put in a teaspoon and a half of garlic ginger paste and give this a good stir. Now you've got to saute this for a while, for a minute at least or less, till the raw smell of the garlic ginger is gone. You can increase your flame at this point. In with the tomatoes. At this point, let the flame be high because you want the tomatoes to cook, and tomatoes cook quickly. So keep them on high. You want the tomatoes to get a little mushy, not really a puree, because they're going to get cooked even when you are when the brinjal and potatoes are cooking. You don't want the tomatoes paste. It's not a brinjal curry that you are going for. We're going for a stir fry. So, yeah. I'm going to lower the flame, use half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. I mentioned earlier we like spice, so it's going to be 2 teaspoons of chili powder, and this is a spicy chili powder. At least about 3 teaspoons of coriander powder. That's a teaspoon of cumin powder. Again, do not stress if you don't have all of this. I mean, which house doesn't have turmeric powder, chili powder, or dhania powder in India? Please, I would really love to know. A splash of water so that your spices don't get burnt. And now it's time for these spices to cook nicely. There's a word, I don't know if you know, called इसको अच्छी तरह से भूनो. So you need to fry this really nicely. Let the water dry out, let the spices cook. Bhuno. The trick is in bhunoing the masala, like my mother says. Have you bhunoed the masala well? Yeah, that's her Anglo English. What it means is just stir fry this really well. Now I'm going to chop some coriander leaves. I like putting in some coriander leaves at this point, not just as garnish, because the coriander leaves give it some really nice flavor. And as you can see, I don't throw the stem out. I leave the stem on because so much of the flavor is in the stem and the root. You don't want to throw that lovely stuff out. There, I'm going to throw this in. See, if you can see, the tomatoes are nice and soft. They break when you actually do this. So they're already almost on their way to getting cooked. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the brinjal, aubergine, bangan. I had soaked these in a little bit of cider vinegar, cider water to kind of kill whatever germs there may have been. I'm going to add some salt. Salt you can add as per your liking. This is at least about, potatoes absorb salt. A quick tip I'm going to give you: if there's ever extra salt in your food, just add a potato or two and the potato will absorb the salt. Can you see this? That's your aloo bangan. What you need right now, and it's really important, is to add some water, because this won't cook, it will get burnt. I'm going to add some water, about a cup or less than a cup. But keep checking on this, okay? You don't want it touching at the bottom, getting burned. You keep your gas on flame, be patient with it. It'll take at least about 10 to 15 minutes, or depending on the quality of the potatoes. When you have new potatoes, yes, there is something called new potatoes and old potatoes. The older the potatoes, the faster they cook. The newer the potatoes, the longer they take. So, just a little more water, and I'm going to let this come to a boil. Okay, I'm going to cover this and let it cook. Okay, I'm going to open this and check. There's some water that has vegetables leave water, so there is some water that has come out, plus there was some water that I had poured in. I am looking for this. I want a little gravy with it. I don't want it dry completely. This is what I'm going for. The brinjals are soft. The potatoes are also cooked. You can check by and if the knife goes in easily, you know it's cooked. I've also left the skin on these potatoes. I don't want to waste anything, and most of your nutrition lies in the skin of the potatoes. Okay, now I'm going to quickly add some of the balance coriander leaves to this, and yeah, that's my aloo baigan. On top of this, I'm just going to put a level teaspoon of garam masala and give this a good stir. Aloo baigan punch bowl.